guys, Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends with another champion guide for you guys. Welcome to my channel. I'm in a good mood today. How are you all doing? Today we're going to talk about Helicath. Let me give a few shout outs. Well, shout out to this guy. Shout out to, should I even try? Shout out to Puck Tatoku. Shout out, can we get a Helicath guide? Absolutely we can get a Helicath guide. He is one of my most used champions inside the game. Before we talk about where we use him, I also have a great lore story for you guys. Thank God, because it's been a while. Actually, it hasn't been. It hasn't been. We had a lore story like 2 days ago, Ash. But I love this champion. He was a previous fusion in the game, and I gotta figure I can't be the only one who uses this guy like everywhere. A little hyperbolic there, but I use him in quite a few areas in the game. So let's talk about him. First, his base stats, 19k on the HP, 1443 on the defense, and 102 on the speed. A nice defensive tank. He is a demon spawn, spirit affinity champion, and he's got the flaming purple head. He's got the body. He's got the flaming purple hands, the flaming purple shins. No feet on this dude. No feet to be seen on Helicath, but a cool aesthetic. I love the purple kind of flame motif going on here. Let's go ahead and talk about his kit. On his A1, Pyroclastic Claw attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit is a 50% chance of placing a big version of Weaken for 2 turns. Will ignore shield and block damage. I mentioned this on the channel before, guys, but I love that he ignores shield and block damage, especially for faction wars and just Doom Tower floors that have the stupid, annoying block damage buff on those champions that you kind of turn your head away for a little bit and you come back to your device 15 minutes later and it's like, oh, I've been attacking somebody with block damage on auto for 15 minutes. Thank you so much, Raid Shadow Legends. It's really awesome that you guys do that. Really cool. Petition somebody to make unkillable and block damage not a thing in waves that we're going to be autoing, please. I mean, come on. What sick, sadistic SOB did that at Plarium? Anyway, decently hard-hitting A1, can deal some damage here, and bringing the big version of Weaken is money. It's a really, really good A1 ability, especially for Clan Boss, because you might only have a decreased defense champion. Now you got a big version of Weaken that's dependable as well. In AoE, the shield proportional to this champion's defense, very similar to Valkyrie. However, his defense doesn't scale as well as hers, so it's not as girthy of a shield, but it's a shield on a 3-turn cooldown. A pretty good one, nonetheless. On the A3, Devoted Servants. 4-turn cooldown, block damage all allies 2 turns. Whenever the block damage is expired, removed, or stolen, it gets replaced with an increased defense buff. Furthermore, Feast of Agony passive decreases champion's defense by 5% for each ally under a block damage buff. And did I say decrease? Increase. That would really suck. That would be a really sucky passive. Decreases champion's defense. Wow. Increases champion's defense for each ally under a block damage, which again, he's bringing a lot. Counterattacks with a default skill whenever an ally is hit under a block damage buff can occur once per enemy turn, which is really, really cool. That means that the enemy is lapping Helicath, he can keep doing it, keep coming in with this Pyroclastic Claw ability, bringing the chance of him placing Weaken even higher, right? So it's a very dependable Weaken in his kit. Ally defense in all battles by 30%. Let's quickly take a look at his multipliers here. Hades gives this champion a 4.5 overall rating, one of the highest ratings that we've seen here on the channel of all the 68 guides that we've done so far, whatever number it is. Look at these ratings, man. A 4 or 5 star in almost every area of the game. 10 out of 10 book value, definitely worth booking this champion, guys. On his A1, a 1.8 strong rating. Keep in mind that's a 2-time hitter, so 1.8 on both hits. A 3.8 strong rating on the A2, and then no damage on the A3. I do want to check Valkyrie's A2. It's a 3.8 on Helicath. I'm curious, just for the heck of it, I'm curious on what Valkyrie has on her A2. It is a 3. It's a 3, so quite a bit higher on the multiplier. I will say, though, Helicath does not hit as hard again because his defense is lower, at least in my experience. Either way, great damage from a defense-based support champion. Can definitely help out the squad, which you'll see in today's video. So let me show you how I have him built. So here he is, guys, Helicath. He is in, that's right, you're seeing this right, a 6-piece protection set. He is the only champion on my entire account that I have in a 6-piece protection or any protection other than a 1 or a 2-piece. Because, just a side note, putting a 1-piece perception and getting 20 resistance off of 1 artifact is extremely valuable. Just picture that as an extra substat on said artifact. Anyway, I have him in protection because once upon a time, I tried him out in Stone Skin, and I also tried him out in protection for the arena. I wanted him to be like an arena Helicath at one point in time, and I actually didn't mind the build so much. And this is one of those champions that there is no like must-have artifact set on Helicath, in my opinion. I've seen people build this guy all sorts of ways, right? Fortitude sets, just defense sets, in reflex sets, sometimes turning off the A2 and just having it go to the A3 to try to reduce that cooldown. I've seen people build him in Savage for more damage, in Relentless for more turns. So there's so many ways you can build Helicath, and that speaks to his overall just competence as a champion, right? Or I could say that speaks to there's no right way and there's no wrong way. You can even have broken sets on this champion. You don't need a specific set to maximize his potential, in my opinion. It all depends on where you're using this champion. So I have Brimstone on him for a little bit extra damage in Clan Boss. I think Brimstone is the way to go for Clan Boss on this champion. You could also make a case maybe for, I guess, Cruelty, right? Decrease the target's defense by 1%. You could chip away at the defense as well. But to me, I think Brimstone's kind of a no-brainer on this champion in most situations for a blessing. So in terms of the actual gear that I have defense on the banner. I have him speed tuned right now. We'll talk about his stats in a moment. I have crit damage on the amulet. I have defense and defense. I have speed, I'm sure, on the boots. We have defense percentage on the chest, and we have crit rate, a little extra crit rate there too on the gauntlets. If we look at his total stats, we can talk about stat priorities. Obviously, we want a lot of defense just to keep this dude alive, right? He's going to have block damage, but it's not going to be up all the time unless you have a speed tuned team with block damage up all the time in Clan Boss. But, even if so, his A2 does benefit from more defense. It's a better shield, so why not load up some defense on this champion? Just don't totally neglect HP at the same time, right? Other than that, speed, crit rate, crit damage is a nice to have. Accuracy is a nice to have. But in terms of mandatory, you just want to make sure he's speed tuned appropriately. Check out deadwoodjedi.com. It has all the Clan Boss speed tunes for every Helicath team out there. There's so many of them out there. So it depends on the team that you're running. For me, I need him at 247 speed for my Clan Boss team. And guess what? I can use him at the same speed in the other areas, which is Nether Spider and Iron Twins that I use this champion. I'll show you all those teams again in today's video after we go through the stats. After that, after you have the defense and the speed to where you need it, I would maximize damage. And then if you need the weaken, try to get that accuracy up as well. Nothing wrong with maybe going with one perception set on this champion if you want to take advantage of the weaken. Now, I only have him at 183 accuracy on this particular build because I have him alongside decreased defense and weakened champions, or I'm relying on Geomancer for the damage, which is the case in Iron Twins and Nether Spider. So having that extra weaken really doesn't mean that much. But again, if you want to take advantage of it, make sure you pump on some accuracy appropriate to wherever you're using him. All right, talking about masteries on this champion, guys. Again, this is a very typical Clan Boss mastery build here. We have him down to War Master and picking up extra accuracy a little bit here as well. Keep in mind he does have that shield, so all shield masteries will work with him as well. Then we have Weaken and Sniper to up that chance to a 55% on the Weaken. Excuse me, did I say Weaken? Master Hexer and Sniper. Sniper to benefit the Weaken. Same thing with Master Hexer, right? Just make sure that you don't pick up Rapid Response on this champion, nor do you pick up Arcane Celerity. We don't want to be messing around with his speeds if he's on a speed-tuned team. It's the #1 mistake that people make, is getting turn meter, anything that's going to screw up, right? Spirit Haste. Anything that's going to screw up your team, or screw up your speed, might screw up your overall team. So those are the masteries that I went with, guys. Again, to me, he's a fairly easy champion to build. We talked about blessings. We talked about artifacts. We talked about masteries. Now it's time to show you guys where I use this champion. All right, guys. So in floor 90, Nether Spider, Doom Tower hard. Basically, it's a Vogoth, Geomancer, a heal reduction champion, in this case, Venomage, and Helicath. I am going to go ahead and just drop any nuker who I know is fast enough. So we'll drop Trunda to help us with the waves, but really this is going to be the Helicath in Geomancer show, really. I guess, a small supporting role by Venomage, right? But we can come in here, clear them away except for these annoying Catraxes here. And you guys are going to love this. In case you haven't seen this team before, it makes Nether Spider so much easier. So much easier. All right, come in there. Finish off the last 2 crews. And we are ready for the Nether Spider. Let's do this. So we're going to start with Helicath. He's going to come in here with his A3. And it's going to block all the damage from all those pesky poisons. We can just A1 here with Trunda. It's kind of a waste of space at this point in the battle. We'll place the heal reduction. And then Geo. Are you ever going to take a turn here, Geo? Come on, man. I think I'm using the wrong Geo. Still going to work, but it's taking a little bit longer than it should have. Now we just hit him with the soft-hitting AoE attacks, right? And I say soft-hitting because we don't want to kill the spiderlings here, right? So that's why we love the A1 of Geomancer. That's why we love the A2 of Vogoth as well. The A2 of, against this high of a stage, we can use the A2 as well of Helicath, but on earlier levels, it might be a little bit too much damage. You might be killing those spiderlings, thus taking you a little bit longer than you probably want to. So again, we come in here. Every time they attack, it's going to reflect that damage vis-a-vis Geomancer's amazing passive right back onto the Nether Spider, and it's going to be over before you know it, right? Nice, easy strategy. I love it. I love easy, guys. I really do. How you guys enjoying Live Arena if you're watching near the time this video goes live? It just opened, by the way. If you're watching in the future, thank you for watching. Appreciate it. I think this guide will still stand evergreen, right? But, I mean, look at Geo there. But if you're watching in the future, Live Arena, which you're probably very accustomed to now, went live today for the masses. So that's why I ask. Anyway, that's the squad, guys. Nice and easy, right? Nice and easy. Love that team, and it's all made possible by the amazing Geomancer. So I'm going to show you the Iron Twins team here. Iron Twins 15, this is it. I talked about this when I was doing a Godseeker and Eerie guide a couple videos ago. But basically, this is the laziest team known to man. I just threw in, a few block damage champions with Geomancer and Godseeker, and there it goes, 100% success rate, right? Pretty easy. Let me go ahead and show you my clan boss team really quickly here, and kind of go through that. I should probably switch things up and go. The reason I love this team so much, guys, isn't because of all the damage. It's not the highest damage clan boss team in the world, but I love that it's kind of set it and forget it, nice and easy, full auto. I don't have to do anything crazy, and it works with the same speeds, the same champions on both Nightmare and Ultra Nightmare difficulty. So this is the team here: Helicath, Warcaster, Doom Priest, Seeker, and a DPS. I say a DPS, meaning it doesn't have to be Dracomorph, but it's nice having Dracomorph on the team nonetheless. I'm going to go ahead and show you the speeds. In case you want to assemble this team, all you need for Dracomorph is a DPS unit at 247 speed. So, and if you do use Dracomorph, make sure you're prioritizing the A3. Otherwise, he won't use it if Helicath's on the same team. Isn't that bizarre? I guess he figures that Helicath has it with the weaken, so he just won't even use the Baleful Eye, which is incredibly weird to me. Anyway, 247 on the speed from your DPS. Recommendation would be Gintoro, someone who can bring decreased defense, right? We have Seeker at 251. You can see he's opening with his A1 ability. We have Doom Priest not using the A2 at 222 speed. We have Warcaster at 265 not using his A2. And then we have Helicath not using his A2 and opening with his A1 at a 247 speed. So we'll go ahead and run this team, but first let me go ahead in the background here. Let me grab a quick drink of water because I'm very parched right now. I'm going to start this run, and then I'm going to do the lore, and we'll see how much damage we got. Be right back. All right, guys, as this clan boss battle goes on in the background, let's go ahead and jump into some Helicath lore. So here he is in all his glory. I like how they showed him from the front and the back, just in case you're wondering here. All right, here we go. Misshapen and twisted in every possible way, Helicath is a creature of the pit. One of the dark, chaotic realms that lie beyond Lumia's light. Its ever-shifting abyssal wasteland became the last refuge of the fallen Lightbringers that had followed Siroth in his war against the goddess. There they rule unchecked, erect their citadels, and plot the downfall of all that is good in Teleria. Whether Helicath is one of those primordial fallen, or if he is the creature born of cruelty and madness in the centuries that followed, is unknown. But no one can deny that he is both ancient and powerful. At a glance, the demon may appear clumsy and sluggish. I mean, he has no feet after all. But nothing could be further from the truth. Helicath's unnatural and jittery movements can be faster than lightning, and his claws rend steel as if it were rotten wood. However, it is his wicked intellect that presents the greatest danger. As one of Lord Shazar's lieutenants, Helicath oversaw the creation and training of demon-spawned legions in their never-ending preparations for war. Not only had that role allowed him to garner a great deal of influence, but also to handpick his cadre of bodyguards and minions to do his bidding. For Helicath, canny and deceitful like all his kin, only ever waited for a chance to stab his sovereign in the back and take his place. Ooh. To his woe, Lord Shazar had just as devious and knew which servants had to be kept at blade's length. He understood Helicath's ambition well and weaved his own intrigue in turn. For a time, Shazar allowed his treacherous lieutenant to think that everything was going according to plan. Helicath continued building his force and followed Shazar's orders when the demon spawn invaded Teleria, earning dark glory to his name on many a battlefield. But as more demons flocked to Helicath's banner, spies sent by Shazar found it easier to infiltrate his ranks. When the hour had finally struck to rise up against the Lord, Helicath marched into a well-prepared trap. When he confronted Shazar in the dark throne room of the Lord's stronghold, more than half of the warriors that had first sworn allegiance turned their blades on Helicath instead. Enraged and well aware he would either win or die, he fought with the fury of a cornered rabid beast that could do nothing against the overwhelming numbers of Shazar's might. Though many had fallen to his claws, Helicath was laid low by his master's blade in the end. But killing powerful demons is no easy task, even for others of their kind. Rather than imprisoning Helicath and giving him a chance to plot and escape, Shazar chose to tear the traitor's spirit asunder and cast it to the hellish winds of the pit. Thus shattered, the essence of Helicath wormed its way into Teleria over many millennia and spread across all corners of the world. Yet if those shreds were to be gathered and made whole again, the demon could be reborn, and he would doubtlessly seek vengeance against the one who had ruined him. Ooh, that's a good story, man. That's a good story. A lieutenant of Lord Shazar turns against him, but good old Lord Shazar was one step ahead and, put him into the hellish winds of the pit, right? Not a bad story there. One of my faves so far. And look at this, guys. 94 million damage. Helicath putting out a cool 12.756 million damage. Not too bad. Most importantly, keeping everybody on the squad alive. That's why I love Helicath, one of my most used champions in the game. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you have a champion that you'd like to see a guide on, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to make that happen as soon as possible. Thanks for watching, and as always, take care, guys.